Aloha. Welcome to our end of days, and that's DAZE. As usual, raw and unedited, so it is what it is. We shouldn't have any interruptions today, but you never know. And if I fumble my words or something else, we'll just keep rolling with it. I know in my last video, I promised I was going to make videos every day, and I haven't been doing that, you guys. Gotta hold myself accountable. Haven't been doing it. Um, just processing a lot. Like there's so much going on. You'll notice I didn't address, I guess, my audience because who am I making these videos for? Like what's my intent behind making these videos? The way that it seems like to me is that we all are unique and we all have something to give, so a gift to give this world. And in doing so, we enrich the world and we enrich ourselves. And it's in that process of giving that we're able to connect with the divine in a very real way, and that this is a process. Like this is not just like a one-time kind of a thing. It's a process, you guys, and it can change. But the whole process is about, all right, my opinion, it's about uncovering you. You as a unique individual, and all I can talk about really is my process. All right, what has happened for me, and maybe it applies to you, maybe it doesn't. Uh, I don't necessarily like the channels, the sources that are telling you you are this or you are that or this is how it is. Um, that's one way of phrasing things. But what I really see it as is that's how it is for this individual or that individual. It's not right as confirmation. It is not necessarily how it is for everybody. Now, from my opinion, right, from my experience, there is what uh, I would call like a Tao, like the way that things are. And working in alignment with the way that things are has worked out better for me. And in order for me to find how things work and how things are, has been a process, first of all. And it has to do with intent, it has to do with aim. Again, and so a lot of my journey has been breaking things down into the most simple structures possible and still being able to communicate it. And so, obviously, then, like, I like language, I like stories. Um, and I like to be able to put things in many different ways because it helps see something as a greater whole. If you're getting different perspectives, different views, it's because, especially when it comes to spiritual stuff, the way that it feels like, the way that it seems like for me, is that we can't say, here it is, all right? We can say, well, it rhymes with, right? It smells like, it tastes like, but we can't ever completely nail down some of these things. I don't know if you've been watching my channel, you probably know a little bit about it. I've tried to find a true statement, which is always true, and so it's a little bit of a joke, all right. But the only thing that I was really able to find, and I'll explain it too, but the only thing that I was able to find that I feel like my experience, from my opinion, my world, right, however you want to phrase it, um, is the phrase, there is only one absolute. There it is. Now it's multi-layered. There's multiple layers within that statement, and one of the layers I think is pretty obvious. All right, but this is why I come up with this, or it was given to me. It's one of those dual aspect things too. Like I'll get into that in a second, but to get back on what I was talking about, the if someone was to say, "Hey, there's no absolutes," what are they saying? They're using an absolute because that's an absolute statement. We got people watching us. It's okay. I got to get over my stage fright anyway, you guys. Seriously, it's not stage fright. It's just you know, potential other stuff. Um, you know, judgment is just silly, but it's stuff that I'm getting over, man. Because everyone's in their own world, just like I was saying before. Um, and so, getting back to the one absolute, right? And so, if someone says there's no absolutes, right? That's an absolute statement. You just invalidated yourself by saying that statement, right? And so there is this apparent duality that we see as human beings. At least I have, I'm not telling you how it is for you, right? Never, never, never. All right, absolutely, right? It's a joke. That's a joke. Um, but this is what we get to do as humans too. When we see something that other people have, we can kind of listen to them. Watch them. Model ourselves after them, or see what they say, and then reinterpret it in a way which is conducive for us. Like one of the things that I've heard, witnessed, experienced myself too. Like even if I say, hey, this is what I've done with my life, and this is how I achieved these particular things or experiences or state of being, it's not going to necessarily be the same way for everybody. Now, for my opinion, there is a particular path that people need to go on, and it's somewhat identical. At the same time, it's going to be completely unique, and each individual's expression of that is going to be unique as well. And so it's not going to be something which is identical. And so that's one of the things that I really wanted to see as well, or not see, but convey, is that like don't. And I'm saying this to to myself too. I feel like I'm a pretty good example at this point. But don't try to fit yourself into someone else's box. All right. And especially a lot of gurus, a lot of people who have, gotten to a state of being that, is something that you kind of want to experience yourself too. How you get there is going to be very different, all right, than how they got there. At the same time, you'll probably end up going through similar patterns or deconstructive processes, right, in order to get to that point. And so, getting back to kind of what I was talking about at the very beginning, who am I making these videos for? Like, and it's as an individual, I feel like I have a unique gift, right? What is that unique gift, right? Keith, what is that unique gift? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to phrase it. I feel it. Like, I sense it. Like, to me, it's just like a state of being. Like, I'm kind of funny looking. I don't know. It's a joke. Um, maybe eloquent sometimes, but it's like language, like stories, you know. But it's hard to apply those kind of things into the context that I want to do. Like, oh yeah, I could be an author and write books, but it's just like at the moment, not really passionate about it. Like so much of life. Like I love life. Like don't get me wrong, I love life, you guys. Like life is such a blessing. Like, and that's what I want to communicate. That's what I want to show. Is that life is such a blessing. Not only to my audience, I guess, but for myself. Because I've been through some really hard times where it has felt like life is just punishment. Like life is just this eternal cycle of damnation, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like, and I've experienced how it does not have to be that way. And so I want to be available as a source to draw upon for certain individuals who have gone that deep. And it looks different for everybody, right? So I don't want to make too many classifications of different types of people. Like there's a meme out there on the internets, right, where it's what do they call them? NPCs, right? You know, normies almost, where and there's layers to that as well, you guys. I don't even want to get into that at the moment. But you know, and normies are going to norm, I guess is the best way to say it. They're going at their own pace. They're at the level that they're at. I kind of think they're more of like a collective consciousness. Now, I don't really know because I got to admit it. It's just like in a lot of ways, I'm super like I feel like I'm vanilla, you guys, like super vanilla. I'm not. I don't know how to say it. It's just like on the outside, I just feel and kind of look like I'm as normal as they come. Like I'm like a undefined amalgamous mass of you know like vanilla, which seems bad, on the outside, but actually vanilla is a very complex flavor. It's very tasty. It's very tasty. It's got a lot going on to make vanilla, which is maybe kind of like a metaphor too. Um, and just as a side note too, I love chocolate. Oh my god, chocolate's so delicious. I've loved chocolate and cocoa my whole life, you guys. Like seriously, it's been one of my favorites. But just a side note there. So getting back right to the subject here, um, being here, like right in Hawaii, it is something else because of what I've encountered here, and it reminds me of myself. Maybe it's past trauma, could be ancestral karma, trauma, um, or both. And part of the reason why I feel like I'm here, and I've made it my own reason. Like maybe we get to dictate our own purpose, our own path here. As a soul, in a lot of ways, I feel like I was duped. I was tricked into coming here. Like, fuck this, man. Like, seriously, what the hell am I? What am I doing here? Why am I here? Like my whole life, I've grown up and witnessed how it seems like this is a fallen world. Like this is truly like a world that has fallen into unconscious like vehemence against itself, and it's eating itself, like and not in a way where it's enjoying it too. So that's why I'm here. I made that my purpose, where it's just like, no, 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 guys, no, 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 world. However you want to phrase it, right? There's a better way. There's a better way for all of us. All right, for all of us. No one gets to be left out unless they leave themselves out. And the way I see it, especially if we've got eternity, we're talking about eternal souls here. You're not left out. You're just You're just not ready for it yet, right? We'll wait on our side of the fence, right? On what's going on with here. But that way to get there is always there, and it starts from within. It starts from intent. It starts from what we're aiming for. And this is why, like when I was talking about the one absolute to kind of link things back together, it's important from my experience, from what I have witnessed for me, what has made me able to get to this point has been my focus and my love on truth, on the truth, honesty, authenticity. Like it is that has been my curse and my burden in a lot of ways. Like growing up, my love of the truth manifested in a way where I was seeing everything that was wrong with the world, and how it could be better, like all the traumas of the world. And it was traumatizing. All right, at an early age, I began seeing like how screwed up things were. You guys, just how screwed it up. How like and being of a young age and feeling like this was my experience where it was just like certain things that I witnessed and I experienced made me see that holy shit, I am I have to be an adult. I have to be this mature being when I'm still a kid. And it was a burden. It was a burden for sure. I'm seeing though that it is what it is, you guys. We all experience what we do, especially in childhood. If I'm gonna let's see what's the time. We're going really good on time. 15 minutes, right? Well, I'll still try to wrap it up, within 5-10 minutes. We'll see what we're doing here. Um, like the way that I've phrased it for me is that we go through the traumas that we do in childhood, and then we're given the opportunity to heal it. And how I view it too, like this is what the Bible talks about. And there's different phrases and different avenues, different spiritual sources, which say more or less the same thing. But it is, I would say that we are given the opportunity to heal ancestral karma. All right, we are able to heal our bloodline, and it takes courage. It takes a love of the truth, because then we need to take responsibility for our ancestors' lineage, and basically, let's say transmorgify. If that's not the right word, you can use it anyway. Transmute, right? Turn lead into gold. All right. I was going to say something else too, but I'll save it for another time about that. But turn lead into gold, because we're starting out like, especially certain family lines and everything. We're starting out with a difficult path, you guys. And I think that's also why it's important not to like when I say judge, like don't judge other people. I'm not saying to not use discernment. Okay, if anything, I'm saying don't condemn other people. Don't condemn yourself. All right, that's what I mean if I ever say don't judge other people. Because just offhandedly condemning other people or putting other people down, all another level that reflects back to oneself. All right, maybe unconscious things that you're seeing that you need to process. Right, I need to process the same difference. Right. Um, because like some people's family lives have been hard. All right, like super hard, and they've taken on a lot of karma, and some of it's just on a soul level. And so I've seen different patterns here too. Like, and there's some souls inherently, I feel like, who incarnated into family lines, who were like, I'm going to heal this karma. Like, and they are usually different than their families to some degree, like black sheep, if you want to say that, and that's okay. You know, in that way, it's its own karma. Or not karma, but it's its own trauma, being different from your family. Um, in a lot of ways, seeing the family line and the patterns in your family, rejecting them, and then still being part of that family where they either, it could be both, but it's just like they're not really conscious of those patterns and they're actively participating in those patterns. And that can be traumatizing in itself too. And so the biggest thing to take away from all of this is just like, we get to choose the narration and the story of our own lives. All right. And so rather than come from a victim mindset and say, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, which is a shitty deal, you guys. It creates an experience which is self-defeating. All right. And if we are creative manifestors on a soul level, hint, hint, wink, wink there, um, that's going to create circumstances where things are done unto you. All right. Rather than like an active participation. At the same time, that's unconscious, you guys. You're still participating in it. Like, this is what I would say. This is my own opinion, right? My own experience. And so to really tie everything back together, maybe close this down. Like I said, there's certain individuals and there's certain groups that I've met here in Hawaii. And I'll talk about more of them later, not in this particular video. But I'd say they're some of the most traumatized. And it is individuals that I would say encountered the trauma, were born into it, didn't see a way out, and doubled down on it. Doubled down on the patterns, went as deep as they can. They've made their own story about it, which is their life, right? Um, if I was going to make an analogy here, as creators, we're able to create our own lives in so much as it's like a vibratory state. And so, to paraphrase, right, the best way to paraphrase is the life that we receive is also what we're giving life. And so, let's just say people make me angry and then I punch them in the face, right? Okay, I'm giving punching people in the face in that particular example, right? So, what is life going to give me? Other people who punch me in the face. And so, we're going to be punching each other in the face all the time in order for us to be with other people who are receiving, who want to receive, who, I don't even want to say wants, but it's just like they are also giving what they are receiving, if that makes sense. And so, and on an outsider level, right? I see it without judgment. It's just like, hey, you people want to punch each other in the face, go for it. They might even say, we like it. We like punching each other in the face. It feels good. And it means they love us, right? Okay, sweet. Want to give each other black eyes, right? Go for it. That's not my path, all right? Maybe I've even been there, all right? I don't want to, I don't want that anymore. All right, I'm done with that. It's an old life for me. I got a whole new life, all right? With that said, this is why I'm making these videos, where it's just like if there's other individuals who are in that lifestyle and deep down they want to change, they really do, they're ready for a change. That's why I'm making these videos, all right? That's why. Is that if you're done with that, cool. Let me just relate my story, all right? Let me relate my life, all right? And if it resonates with you, if it feels good or bad, or just if it just resonates with you, awesome, all right? If there's things that I say which help you on your path, awesome, all right? Take it, go ahead, run with it, man. Like that's why I'm here. That's why all of us are here. We each have a unique self to share, all right? And it takes a while for all of us to get to that point, right? Of authenticity, of honesty with ourselves. And it takes a lot of, we're going to use, clinical language or anything, Jungian stuff, like facing your shadow, and it isn't beating your shadow into submission either. Like that is the antithesis of what we want to do here, you guys. Because that is going further into trauma. All right, it's just my opinion. All right, I'm just calling it like I see it. Because if you want to force things, things are gonna force you back, man. That's much better. My experience, it's much better to just take it easy. And that's one of the things that I say for people, like in the physical world. I'll say, hey, man, take it easy. I'm meaning it literally. All right, take your life easy, man. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be traumatic. It can be, if you want it to be. If you feel like the taking your life easy is boring, okay, go for it, man. Go for it. Like that's not how it is for me. All right, I get a lot of enjoyment out of an easy life. And is my life easy? Yeah, we'll see. I'm still working on stuff, you guys. I'm still working on stuff. Like, and that's the beauty of it too. Like, I don't have to go seek trauma. All right, it rises naturally. But with that said, I do have a level of peace and contentment, even in crazy circumstances, which I'll eventually share with you guys. Because a lot's happened to me. All right, a lot has happened to me, even just here in the last year or so. I mean, crazy, guys, absolutely crazy. It's in a good way, in a bad way. Who knows, man? Woo, just startling stuff, man. Stunning. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll kind of wrap it up there. Um, I'm thinking a parting, just like a greeting. I'll work on the greeting here too. But the parting that I said in the beginning, that I'm kind of drawn back to too, was see you on the flip side, right? I'm gonna originally, I think I originally saw that. It was from a movie, Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints, that's what it was. I don't remember the characters' names. It's been years and years since I saw that movie, you guys. But I liked how it sounded too, and I was just reminded of it through something else, through something else. And so this is, if I say see on the flip side, what I'm talking about, because I'm defining this, all right. I don't want people to misconstrue my words here, where it's just like I was born, and I think all of us were. Like if we're here on this world at this time, I feel like all of us were to some extent. Okay, maybe some of us weren't. Lucky you in that case. But all of us here were born into some kind of trauma. All right, that's the side we start out on. And that when we transmute that, we begin to transmute that, we have that intent to transmute it, to really own our lives, to take responsibility for it and turn it into something else. That is the flip side. And so when I say see on the flip side, that's what I mean. Okay. And then also my other parting, I love it. I love it. I made this other parting up, the last one, and I'll just say it now. I think we're getting long in the tooth for this particular video, and so we'll just leave it here, you guys. So love you guys. Love you. I love all of you. All right. Even if you're actively participating in traumatizing yourselves further. All right. I accept where you're at. Maybe that's what you need, man. Um, but it's the same deal. Where it's just like don't try to steal from me. All right. Don't try to hijack my energy. All right. Even attempting to do so will invoke certain things upon you. Okay. And so this is like a warning. All right. Don't do it. I'm not doing anything to you. All right. You're doing it to yourself, like in every single real way. Um, and if your intent is honest, if you're honestly looking to connect with what I have connected with, to get clear with yourself, all right, is how I would phrase it. Awesome. Like, I still say that there's a warning there if you're attempting to connect with the energy that I'm connected to, all right, because it will hold you accountable. It will hold you accountable. And if you follow through with it, if you're dedicated to it, it will free you. The truth sets us free. All right, it does. It absolutely does. Sometimes you just got to endure things and keep enduring it until it clicks, man. And when it clicks, it is night and day difference. And, as a side note too, since there's only one absolute, night and day are both beautiful times of the day of existence, okay? Just different. So we'll leave it at that. All right. So, like I said, I love you guys. Thanks for sharing my journey with me. Thanks for participating in this in however way you can or want to, choose to. And see you on the flip side. And so, peace out. Love with it.